Hey there, I'm Suzanne with CaregiverHaven.com. And if you're caring for an aging parent or a spouse or a loved one, I'd like you to take just 5 minutes to talk to you about the something that caregivers go through. And it's very common. It's burnout. And it's not dramatic. It's not something that ends up in the ER or total breakdown, though that happens. I'm talking about the slow, invisible burnout that creeps in when you're juggling too many roles and you're getting too little sleep and quietly losing parts of yourself along the way. Most of my clients called me when they were already burned out, but I could always tell when they were getting close to it too. And as a physician assistant, I also saw this constantly. My patients would come into the office and I'd give them a diagnosis and I'd look at their caregiver who was just falling apart. And you could see in their faces their exhaustion and their anxiety and their guilt. And they just smile, and the senior would say, "I'm fine," and the caregiver would say they're fine, and they would just nod all the time along the way. And I'd offer them some simple and powerful things like the caregiver burden assessment form. And I'd ask these 22 questions to them, and every 3 months I would ask them again, and they'd see slow improvements. They would capture the things that were worst for them, and they would revisit those and start working on the little things just to relieve some of the stress. Because you can climb out of this, you absolutely can, but you have to know what is causing this burnout, because there's so many different factors involved. So don't guess anymore. You can actually use this 22 question assessment to see where your resentment, where your tiredness, your brain fog, what's dragging you down. And once you do this, you'll actually do something about it. Caregivers have told me that this form has helped them feel validated and more in control and less alone. And it becomes their monthly reset, a way to stay grounded and steady, even when caregiving is still hard. And it does get harder because your senior is aging. So it's especially helpful if you're the only one doing the work and your siblings are on the sidelines. And it may even be the love for your family that's a burden right now because you're just taking too much in and it's just not balanced for you anymore. That imbalance adds up and it leads to physical burnout, emotional detachment, and in some cases, actually real health problems for you, the caregiver. I've seen this. According to the Mayo Clinic, chronic caregiving stress increases the risk of anxiety, depression, weight gain, and even long-term illness. But it doesn't have to go that far. When you know your stress level, you can speak up sooner, ask for specific help, and make those small, tiny changes that are going to protect your energy. So this assessment helps you put the truth into words and sometimes even into a conversation. Some caregivers have used it to show their siblings, here's where I'm at. Here's why I need backup. And it's one of the most honest conversations you can have when you're asking for help, because it's hard to do it all yourself. But staying ahead of the burnout, it isn't a luxury. It's got to be survival. Because if you go down, the whole system goes down with you, and there's no one left to take care of your senior. At least not the way you want them taken care of. So start to feel steady, start to climb yourself out of this burnout. You don't have to be there anymore. You can delegate without guilt. And while we know that things aren't going to work perfectly, you're going to chip away at this one item at a time until the assessment, this caregiver burden assessment, is everything you want it to be. I've seen this. It happens over and over again. It is actually freeing. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes to do it, and then do it again on a monthly basis or every 3 months, and you're going to see how powerful this tool is and how it's used to protect your health and your relationships and your peace of mind. So download it today. It's free for you, and use it honestly. Let it guide your next steps, and you don't have to wait until you have a breakdown to care for yourself. This is your reset button. And thanks for being here. And more importantly, for everything you do. Take care. We'll talk soon. And subscribe to my channel if you like it. Take care.